Ready, Fred? Okay. Did you know that the average person weighs about, or throws away about 4.3 pounds of trash a day? Now, that, to put into perspective, is about 60 pounds a week. And your typical family of 4 or 5, that's 120 to 150 pounds a week. Yeah, it's a lot of trash. Annually, we accumulate as Americans in total 243 million tons. How many tons? Yes. Yeah, 243 million tons of trash. And that was the statistics from 2009 according to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. But the question is, where does all that trash go? It's not like we bury it, right? Well, actually, it turns out in some cases we do. And give me 1 second. This shows up on the screen. I need one of those screens with that notch in that cable saying technical difficulties with correctly. She says it's not working, so give me 1 second, I have to back up. Sorry, I appreciate your patience. All right, well, that's a shame. So, anyway, I'm going to have to skip the video for now, but let's get right to the PowerPoint presentation. Okay. So, where does the trash go? First of all, it starts right in our own homes, right? As you can see right there in the picture, we have a little diagram of the path that the trash can, the trucks go. But of course, it starts with the way that we dispose it. We, in certain cities, we have about 2 or 3 bins, right? Each specifically designed for a particular kind of trash. We have either blue for recycling, sometimes it's green. And of course we have our other trash can for our regular trash, for like food, any non-recyclable waste and stuff. So according to ecolife.com, the collection, waste management is the collection, removal, processing, and disposal of materials considered waste. Now, it's very important that we dispose of materials properly, because some of those things can be very hazardous in the environment. One of the first places it's collected goes right here, landfills. Now, we thought that we would think that maybe we're past that, but actually we're not. Landfills are specifically located so that it wouldn't be a danger to the environment, because a lot of the materials that can be disposed of can be like oils, combustible materials, reactive materials, for instance, and a lot of those things, depending on where they are, say they're located next to a water reserve or something, they can contaminate the water, which happened throughout history. This method of disposal, it goes back centuries and centuries. So this is one of the oldest methods of waste disposal. Today, though, the way that we prevent contamination is that the landfills are specifically located to be away from environmental areas that can be hazardous to the ecology, and definitely away from water systems as well. And they are lined with clay that goes about 3 feet deep. Next, right here, this is where they sort all the trash materials. Anything that's been recycled is sorted out. For instance, fluorescent lights. Fluorescent lights are actually hazardous waste. I actually didn't know that until I started to do research. Obviously, I mean, if you break the fluorescent light, it's definitely a hazard. There's a lot of mercury inside those things. So proper disposal of those things are very, very important. And actually, You can take them to a Home Depot. They accept it whenever. You can dump it there. Sometimes Walmart even has annual or special waste disposal events for hazardous materials. The way that it is done, in order to keep it safe, they have these vacuums where all the fluorescent lights are crushed. It sucks up all the mercury. They have a magnetic system that takes all the metals. So all that can be recycled properly. So the next point I want to make to you is how all these resources are used after it's been sorted out properly. Landfills don't just die off. They are operated for about 30 years, right? And up until then, they are turned into parks, even an old park. For all you know, the next old park that you would open in used to be a landfill. They are also used for energy. Methane gas that is produced by those landfills are not just wasted, they are converted. So how can we help this system? One of the ways that we can help out is to be more aware of how things should be disposed of, how to actually properly dispose of hazardous waste for one, and compost as well. There's a lot of stuff like foods or like bananas or something, or your leaves when you're raking those in that can be served as fertilizer. And so all this stuff that we do can actually help prevent the collection of landfills. And I hope this has made you realize that when you throw away trash, it doesn't just go away. I mean, it has an entire life after you throw it away. More importantly, I hope you are more encouraged to do a little bit of research and find out or put a little extra effort on proper waste disposal. All right, thank you.
So Bridget, what did you think?
I thought that the speech, the topic was pretty interesting as far as a lot of people not being conscious about it. He did a good job introducing this topic as far as starting off with the question. And he provided good eye contact. And I like how we didn't waste much time trying to get the video started and moved on to the slideshow. He had a very good description of the visual and pointed out everything that was on there. He had one transition that was pretty clear, and then I felt that going into the last part of the speech, like the second transition wasn't as clear. But overall, the speech was pretty good.
All right. Well, I like the statistics in the beginning. It gets us a little bit involved, gives us a way to relate to the subject. It also creates a good justification for talking about the subject. You need more of a preview, though, and a layout of what the pattern is going to be here. And I know that you got a little thrown by the inability to use your video clip. That might be why you skipped over that, because it seems like that's about the point where things started to go a little bit awry. When you got back to the body of the speech, I thought you had some good information, but you're not citing it anymore. You had it cited in the introduction where some of the data came from, but after that, it just seems like you were summarizing an article someplace and not even telling us where that information came from, and you need to be a little bit stronger on that. Also, organizationally, I thought it was problematic because we're bouncing from the landfill to recycling and back to the landfill. I'm not sure that that was the original plan, but that's the way it came out. You're trying to let that one visual organize everything in the speech, and I think that that's a problem. I think it's an okay setup. Maybe you could use that as your preview and say, so here are the three places where our garbage goes that I want to talk about. I want to talk about the recycling process, I want to talk about the landfill process, and then I want to talk about the dangerous materials that shouldn't be ending up in either of those places. Then I think it would make a little bit more sense. Now, like I said, I think you're trying to rely a little bit too much on that drawing, which